We are the Avett Brothers, and we're from Concord, North Carolina. They can't even count how many times they've said those words in front of millions of fans across the world during their concert stops far away from their hometown. From the Warrenwood farmhouse on 60-plus acres of land out where the asphalt ends, the Avett family's passion for music has been handed down from generations. As brothers, their paths through the arts took a few turns in different directions, but ultimately came together to become internationally recognized artists that have taken their fans around the world by way of the unpaved roads of their youth. And today, I'm back on those washboard roads of North Carolina to catch up with Scott and Seth Avett.
I'm Kyle Petty, race car driver, musician, speed enthusiast. I know where I found my passions in life, but I'm always curious about where others found theirs. And I've figured out over the years, the best way to get to know someone better is over a little food. So I'm hitting the road to catch up with some friends to hear their life stories, and you're invited. Pull up a seat and join us for this edition of Dinner Drive. There you guys are.
Yes, sir.
Are you doing chores?
Always.
Oh, man, I'm doing chores this morning, man. How's it going?
Come
Good to
join
see
us
you.
with some
Good to see you.
chores.
What you guys been up to, man?
Oh,
Shoveling?
What a question.
Feeding? I mean...
It may look like we've been shoveling, but
it's all just staged. We don't
it is
actually
staged
do any,
somewhat.
Don't do any actual work.
It's kind of like my life. It's just staged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's smoke and mirrors, man. It's smoke and mirrors. That's
Once
how it
you've
works.
been Kyle Petty for so long, you can't stop being Kyle Petty.
Listen,
You can't go back.
So where are we?
We're here on my family's farm, which is connected to the farm that we grew up on, that Seth and I grew up on.
Yeah. Did you have animals? Did you have a little farm too? Did y'all have chores? Did you have
did.
chores?
Oh, yeah.
Listen,
We sure
I had
did.
to sweep the race shop. That was my chore. My
Yeah.
chore
Yes,
is
sir.
sweep the race shop, empty the trash.
Yeah.
It was pretty basic.
Yeah.
What was your chores around the house?
I laugh because it was the 80s growing up there. We moved in that house in 1980. And I think back of how Little House on the Prairie like our home
Oh,
was.
yeah. Yeah.
We had pigs.
Yeah.
We had chickens. We had cows. We had a big Belgian horse. Not a rideable horse.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a puller, you know?
Just one to have around to keep the danger level.
Yeah. And so we were feeding pigs.
Yeah.
And we were gathering around, and we didn't have cable. And all of our friends that were living in the suburbs did. But we grew up in this very Little House on the Prairie sort of vibe, and so there were always chores. Very, very grateful for those.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point we had 3, well-functioning gardens.
Wow.
The cows, the pigs, the chickens.
Yeah.
And you also think about it as like luxury means a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I think for us and how we grew up, probably how you grew up, like the only real luxury is having built-in space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can get away from everyone,
That's right.
that you can remove
Yeah.
yourself from them and
Yeah.
have green around you and have space around you, and
Yeah.
that's like the only real luxury that we're working with. Yeah.
So if you got a little time, show me around this place.
Sure,
Because I want
yeah.
to see what made you guys who you are
Sure.
and where you grew up. I'm excited about
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. Oh, I got to ride up front.
Yeah, jump on there.
Oh, my
Yeah,
gosh.
and you're gonna need to.
Here, I'll put this Jason mask on real quick.
I thought you were going to give me a helmet.
No, this isn't bull riding.
An interesting story, though, there was a family. They gifted our parents 2 acres and the house that we grew up in because they loved my grandfather.
I was taken back to my own childhood, hearing the stories from Scott and Seth about the hours they'd spend each day in the open fields of this beautiful farm.
There were homemade landfills throughout
yeah.
these woods. And so you'd have a mountain of milk and magnesia bottles.
Oh,
these
yeah.
blue
From the
mountain-
40s,
Blue bottles.
50s.
The blue bottle.
It wasn't hard to see the passion for this place and why 40 years later, these brothers, who've traveled the world several times over, still know you can always come back home.
Is this your house?
Yeah.
Wow. It's pretty, man.
All right. All of a sudden, I see a bee in my mask. And I'm like, that's not on the outside of the mask. I was like, oh! I grabbed the mask with the bee. Then I feel one on my neck. So I'm running.
All right, so this is dinner on your farm, right?
That's right.
And you grew all this.
I did.
Yes.
I did. I grew the coffee.
He's got grooves, these little boxes too. He's got this whole field
Fascinating.
where he just grows.
Fascinating. It's cardboard plants.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, this is a super dynamic farm.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
These are good.
I don't eat just junk food or food that's quote unquote unhealthy, but I also am starting to believe that healthy eating is overrated.
There's really something about cereal, though, like sugary cereal. There's just a certain satisfaction you get out of it that you don't get from any other quote unquote food.
Yeah.
There's honey on it. It's really good.
You need bees, man. Yeah.
Oh, so we had bees
Oh, no.
growing up, but for me, my dad was, tough love, but also, when you're choosing which suit you're going to wear to go tend the bees, when one
that's a little safer.
one has zippers and full sealed tight, and the other has duct tape at the crotch and a zip tie at the neck. So apparently my dad was like, well, I'll take the one with the zippers. So we're getting the bees. Dad's over there with the zipped up airtight suit, just all calm, working on the bees,
Yeah.
and here I am. All of a sudden, I see a bee in my mask. And I'm like, that's not on the outside of the mask. I was like, oh, I grabbed the mask with the bee, then I feel one on my neck.
And
So
so
the
you're
bees
holding
are
the bee, you're holding
starting
your little helmet type thing.
So I'm running, screaming at my dad. And Dad's like, Scott, get down here. We got to get this done. I'm like, you gave me the damn suit with the holes in it. The suit with the hole in the crotch. The whole neck's open up. Oh, my God.
The duct tape's
gosh.
failing.
Yes. Speaking of your dad, your dad's a musician. So what kind of music was played around the house, or did you grow up listening to?
We had an 8-track player that had one of Dad's recordings from 1974-ish in a group that he played in called Common Decency. There was a 3 Dog Night 8-track tape. There was a Bob Dylan 8-track tape. There was a Neil Young, and there was a John Denver 8-track tape, and we just wore those.
Yeah.
There was a handful of them in a little wooden box. We wore them out.
Yeah.
And it fit. A lot of that music fit. Like
Right,
especially that John
seamlessly.
Denver record.
Seamlessly.
I think it was Back Home Again.
Yeah.
All the themes in that
Yeah.
record really fit with our life. Grandma's
Yeah.
feather bed and all this stuff. So it all became pretty seamless as little kids.
You came along a little bit later. I don't know if the 8-track player was still working when you came along.
It still was, but my memories are a little closer to the record player and the radio. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of Tom T. Hall and a lot of George Strait. So the country music that was popular in the 70s, 80s was really kind of the centerpiece of what we were hearing a lot.
So, Seth, you had a friend, Noah Warner.
Yeah.
From 5th grade. You
Yeah.
guys started a band.
Oh, yeah.
Called Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is a great name. It's a great name.
Thank you very much. Yes,
And
I
then
appreciate that.
later it becomes Margot.
Yes.
So you play around the Charlotte area. Melodic rock.
Came about, this melodic rock type thing, by basically trying to imitate Nirvana, but the beginning of a journey of realizing that some of what is in Nirvana and what's so great about it is some of Kurt Cobain's pain, and part of what kind of made it special. And I don't have that same pain. Like, I think there is a general suffering that all humans have, but I didn't have some of that specific pain. So that was the beginning of my journey of getting on a stage and playing the part of trying to be like a rock star.
Yeah. At the same time, I guess, or around somewhere, you're at East Carolina studying art. And you have a band and it's described as heavy metal, heavy rock. You said it's not NASCAR, it's not big football. We couldn't relate to it.
We were realizing who we were.
Yeah.
And in that process, we had to sort of turn against who we were and what
Yeah.
we were from.
Yeah.
NASCAR was part of that country music. Bluegrass, which we didn't even really listen to as a kid, or old time, was very much who we were.
Yes.
And so we were learning, we were sort of being shown, and we were doing it by imitating others that were rebellious, that we admired that looked courageous to us.
Right.
But now we look back and we realize a lot of that was from a painful place, like
Yeah.
Seth was saying, that we didn't share.
Next is you merge your bands at some point in time and you
We
start
did.
playing together.
I've been locked up in my house for some time now.
There was a great convergence of elements that created that transition into this kind of acoustic-based approach. But when we first started playing like just one acoustic, one banjo, both vocals, I got that taste of like, it felt kind of dangerous because you are really laying, and the fear of that, the danger of that was invigorating in a way.
Country was first album, Carolina Jubilee second, but then you spend time in New York. And it seems like there, your music and your writing becomes almost incredibly cinematic.
New York, every time we would go, it was like this dose of medicine that was just, oh man, it was changing everything. It was changing the biology of things. It was incredible.
We were really just trying to simplify, like, let's just really dig into some very focused themes where you know what the song's about, and it has a sensible beginning, middle, and end. And then, yeah, by the time we were working on Mignonette, we had a big dose of that, like Scott was saying, where it's just like we don't have to sound like we're just like old time country. We don't have to only use words that are used in folk music. We can really tell our story in a highly specific way.
You know, I am an amateur guitar player, and I try to write music, so I'm always fascinated by this. What is your writing process?
When I'm awake and when I'm aware, everything for a good song is always there. It's always there. And if I'm awake to it, it's coming out. Now, what I'll do is I'll take notes throughout life.
Yeah.
And lately, my practice has been, okay, that's the one I'm working on. And if I'll follow it until it tells me, stop messing with me. We're not chasing success. We're chasing expression, the song.
You're chasing the song.
Yeah.
What about you?
There's a great quote from Chuck Close, the great painter, inspiration is for amateurs. I feel like that's true. I feel like inspiration, it's available to everyone. You just go to work. You know, like if you want to be a songwriter, just like write songs. You know, like if you write 100, like, you know, some of them are gonna be pretty good. You know, but you're gonna have to put that time in. So I do try to create space for that very boring, like for 4 hours, I'm just gonna be like trying to write a song. You know?
Well, I just had some inspiration. Let's have a little more coffee and eat a little bit more, and then I've got a few more questions for you guys.
This is not a band that sat down and said, we're going to be a mixture of Zeppelin and Doc Watson, and we're going to take it to the world. We never said anything.
I needed that.
Good, right?
All right, so I have a good friend, Lyle Lovett. His music, it's Western swing, it's jazz, it's big band, it's country, it's pop.
It's folk.
It's folk. Yeah. It's a little bit of everything because it's his music. It doesn't fit in any box, but a little piece of it goes in every box. When you look at your music, how would you define it?
Well, we would never define it.
Great answer. No, that's a great answer. That's a great answer.
And I think if you were sitting around defining it, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
This is not a band that sat down and said, we're going to be a mixture of Zeppelin and Doc Watson, and we're going to take it to the world. We never said anything. We were like, we just did it. We're just lucky and just have been guided to be who we are.
When you look seriously at any artist that you truly love, like someone you just love their music, you know, like all of the genre descriptions, they just fall apart.
Yeah.
You know, like if you look at Paul Simon, you're like, well, you can't just say he's a folk singer. It just doesn't make any sense. Or same thing with Dylan or whoever. Led Zeppelin, you can't just be like, well, it's a blues rock band. You know, no, it's Zeppelin. Like the power that's in there is not genre specific. It's just they were awesome. So that's what we're shooting for, I think. You know, just the most accurate, sincere version of ourselves, you know, sort of shaped into songs.
You studied painting and studied art at East Carolina. How do you find balance? How do you balance those two creative parts of who Scott Avett is?
My art schooling, it was a community of visual artists, musicians, you know, from painting and sculpting to musicians that liked avant-garde, to punk rock, to folk, I mean, all over the place. And we really were just in the fabric of that. And so we would rehearse in the studios of the art building as well. painting happens to be one way to express, in this case, myself, so does song.
The way Scott was just describing it, it's funny, like the older we get, the less difference there seems between all of the arts. It's just kind of like whatever's just happening that day, you know. It is all kind of wrapped up in the same journey.
There's a race team, the Wood Brothers, Glenn and Leonard, and everybody looked at them collectively, but never separately.
Yeah.
Even when they were going into the Hall of Fame, it was, should we put them both in at the same time? They both had totally different accomplishments. How do you guys deal with that? Does the occasion ever arise that you just want to be Seth, then you just want to be Scott?
You know, probably if we could be someone else for a day and see it, we might be like, I don't like the way that, but like you said, who really cares what anybody thinks?
Exactly.
It's never, it never really
really matter.
occurs to me. It was such an advantage from the beginning. As a little brother, you know, growing up my whole life, looking up to him, it made me feel incredibly confident that we were going in together, you know?
Yeah.
So it's never really occurred to me so much to want to undo that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if people see us as the same entity, that's because we presented it, you know, for the most part in that way.
Yeah.
We both just try to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And we like to hold each other to that.
10 studio albums, 4 live, 5 EPs.
Yeah.
Constantly, we've established that you're constantly evolving, constantly changing. What is next?
But we're making new music. We're not in the same hurry that we used to be. We're super excited for the world to hear what we make. We love that. It's what we live for. But also our home lives are super busy right now. We're teaching kids things.
Yeah.
We're bringing kids up. So, but for the Avett Brothers, we've got lots of touring to do this year.
We've always had sort of this, you know, quasi-fatalist attitude, like, you know, this might be the last time we ever do it, you know. But now
I have a total fatalist.
But now we're like full on, like we're probably gonna only get to do this one more time. So every night that we do that, it's just like, man, it's just through the roof. It's just so fun. So the shows that are on the horizon are they're very exciting to us.
I've been to a few of your shows. Sometimes you have brought up your dad and your sister Bonnie, and you all sing together. That's a very special moment. Do you ever get that feeling where it's like, this is where we started, we're just giving you a glimpse of it?
Well, when Dad reaches over and he gets you by the neck and he's like, you know, just like in front of 5,000 people, like just dominating you with his love. That's a little bit like going full circle.
Yeah. What a blessing, though.
Yeah.
You can relate, I'm sure.
Yes.
And you know now, it's like, this is a gift.
That's right.
This isn't forever.
Those moments are a gift.
They are.
Yeah. You're both married, both have kids. You spoke of your kids a minute ago. What do you hope to teach your kids and leave your kids to move forward?
I just want to leave as many positive reverberations as possible, because it takes a collective of people doing that to break those harmful cycles, you know?
There is a thread of eternal love. There is a thread that goes through, it's available to us all, and there are many names for it. But when I talk to my youngest, I want to impress upon him that if I'm gone, I'm still here. Never, that the love that I am sending to you never dies. And what I would want to leave is a grip on that thread.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Listen, it has been a privilege to sit down and share some food, some good coffee, and some fellowship with you guys. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Kyle. So before you leave, Kyle, we wanted to take an opportunity here to show you the studio. The painting part of the studio. This is the painting studio. There's chambers in this building, and this would be the painting chamber. But it does change. It's not always painting. We've done lots of rehearsals here. We've recorded a record here before. Sometimes it's drawing, sometimes it's painting, sometimes it's song.
And it's just an old farmhouse, so a family used to live here. It's got a good spirit to it in that way, you know.
But it's a quiet place. It's a place where you can come and find peace.
It is a contemplative place, for sure. and it can get really vibey. This is where date night happened over the pandemic, and it's amazing how some string lights and some canvas on a table can just all of a sudden feel like France.
Yeah.
You know, like in a little cafe in France or something. So it's a very vibey place, a very meaningful and sweet spot for me.
Listen, thank you guys for having me. You don't know, I'm a huge fan. So I'm a fanboy here, so I have to say that. So finally to get to come and spend some time with you and see how important this place is to you, the land is to you, family is to you. It's been a special day for me, man.
Well, what a joy to have you here. Thank you for making it happen.
Thank you, man.